The dreaded moment has come where we have to take our Brinkley in for service. So we've got a few recalls, we have some warranty issues. We bought it in November of last year, so November 2024. We have a 1-year warranty on it. We want to go on a trip on spring break, and so we want to make sure everything is going good. We've been on a couple trips with it and noticed a few little things here and there that we want to get repaired. So yeah, go with me on this journey, and we're gonna go take the Brinkley in for service and see how it goes. So this is our first time having any issues with a camper before, so I don't even know what the recall process looks like, the warranty process. I've seen things on forums and Facebook groups where people are taking forever to fix it. They're waiting on parts and everything else like that. I'm hoping this isn't the case. I've had a really good experience with my dealer this far. So we're gonna see what this process looks like, see how it goes, see how long it takes, all the other good stuff. So let's hit the road. Let's take Fynn with us. Fynn, you wanna go? Come on, let's go, buddy. Come on. He's excited to ride. You excited, buddy? Come on. He's ready. All right, so we got our Brinkley G3950 that we bought back in November of 24. So we've had it for several months now, and we've gone out on a couple trips, and there's a few little things that I'll kind of explain that have gone wrong with it. Nothing major, nothing crazy, some small electrical stuff. And yeah, we just want to get those fixed before we go on our trip for spring break with the kids. Now, this is gonna be my first time hooking up to this truck. Since I bought this truck, I've got the Gen Y offset hitch on here. Now, I've seen some things that GM and Ram where the hitch for those trucks are actually more towards the rear of the truck, so it gives you some more like cab space, you know, for turning and all that good stuff. But with the Fords, they put them a little bit more forward. So I'm gonna try it out with our extended, I think it's extended by 5 inches towards the rear. We're gonna see how that works. And yeah, see if we like this towing experience. If I just want to use a regular gooseneck ball in the middle of the truck, you know, we're gonna kind of play around that and see. So this is our first time hooking up with the truck and towing with it, so I'm kind of excited to see how this is gonna go. So that hitch height should go to our last known hitch height when it was unhooked and before we hit the auto level on last time. So all the jacks are going to come up, and then the front is going to raise up, and then we should be able to pull underneath it. So one of the cool features about the Ford is once you go to your camera in the rear like this and you actually back up to a trailer, when you go to stop, it'll automatically throw in your parking brakes, which is nice so you don't roll forward or backward and lose your position on where the ball is. It's pretty neat. So you'll see when I go into park here, you heard the brakes kick on, and now the parking brake is on, which is pretty cool. So one of the beauties of having a modern camper is having access to all your controls, where I can let out my leveling and I can have access to that, and I can go up and down and change it manually. I can hitch it to the truck. It's a pretty nice feature to have on your phone. Finally got it to go down. I don't know what was going on there, but it was acting kind of wonky, and I think something with the snap latch may have gotten kind of out of adjustment, and I was a little bit too far forward, and I don't know, I've never had that happen before. So I don't think there's an issue, other than maybe I need to lubricate some parts. Some things are just kind of sticking where they shouldn't be sticking. All right, so here she is loaded up. Now I have this extra 5-inch extended ball. So normally the ball would be here, but Gen Y makes a kit that we can extend it and bring it back some, which is pretty nice. And the advantages, of course, are going to be keeping it off the cab of your truck, making tighter turns. But something that I like about it a little bit more is this extra space right here. Now I can actually walk through without any issues, just turning sideways. So that's pretty nice. I don't know, kind of digging that. Hopefully the centering and the weight and everything else is good on it. I'll check it with the scales in a little while. And then I also have to set this truck up to be able to tow this trailer, enter in some values and all that good stuff. So we converted this from the regular fifth wheel to the Gen Y gooseneck, and the reason why is it frees up so much bed space, especially when you're traveling and you need the extra bed space and the extra weight taken out of the bed. It just makes it nice. Now, one of the downfalls is when you do a gooseneck, you have to hook up the chains. And reaching these chains, luckily I have this step here. I can step into here, and then I still can't really reach. I have to throw my leg up on the bed, down, the safety chain. That's not fun. So I have to repeat that on the other side. That's the only downfall about having the gooseneck over the fifth wheel, in my opinion. You just gotta be young and nimble, I think. I don't think it's gonna work for anybody that can't throw their leg up on the side of a bed. I'm going here to towing. I'm gonna add a trailer. Trailer name, we're gonna call it the Brinkley. Trailer type, it's going to be a gooseneck. 45.5, we're just gonna go with 46. Just say around 8 feet. Let's get out and measure it real quick. All right, we came back with 8.5 feet. Run with that. Measure the height real quick. 13.5 was right on the money. And our weight. This trailer is a 22.5 GVW trailer. Run with all that. Confirm. And there we go. Brinkley's now active. We don't have any accessory sensors, so we'll add those later, which will be the TPMS sensor, your bliss sensor, you know, all the sensors for the trailer. We're gonna do that later. And then we are good to go. What I like is now it just brought my fuel mileage down to 357. It was almost 700, and now we're brought down to 357, which is just a guess. It's kind of guesstimating, but you can see there's a trailer image there. And now once we start towing with this Brinkley, the fuel mileage is gonna be accurate to every single time we hook up to it. Meaning it's gonna pull an average from it all the time. That average is gonna be locked into the saved Brinkley trailer, and then this will be an accurate reading, which is nice because every time I plug in the trailer, I can see exactly what my distance to E is, which is super cool, something that the GM was missing out on. Another feature that I love about these trucks is we're gonna go into towing, and then we can see all of our trailer information, which is cool, see our pitch and all that. Something that's really neat is when we go into gauges right here, we can go into diesel measurements, and then we can actually see all of our different diesel measurements. So I can see what my DEF level is, my exhaust filter, so I can know when I'm gonna go into regen, my engine brake percentage, and then my turbo boost. So it's really cool that this truck includes all that, because there's no other truck on the industry that I know of that has all that. So let's get going. Looks like we got an hour and 16 minutes till we get there. Finn's excited. We got the tow mirrors extended. Put our drive mode down here into towing, so it gives us some different readouts on our heads-up display and our gauges here. We're ready to hit the road. Now, we got this camper from Byron Outdoor Superstore back in November. We had a great experience with their salesman there, Jody Nolan. He's been awesome to deal with. I reached out to him, told him, you know, we have these recall issues and we have a couple warranty things, and he said, bring it by, no problem, we'll have you in it and ready to go by spring break. So that's the goal, fingers crossed. We got about an hour before I get there, and so far this thing is towing great. Turned the automatic engine braking on. I've got all the features set up for this truck. Now, one thing that I'm gonna test and see is how this extension on the hitch is gonna go. You know, if it's riding good, if I feel like there's any shake or extra vibrations. Now, it is rated for the extra weight. I think it's rated up to 25,000 pounds, somewhere in there. I'll look that specs up and put it on the screen. But I just want to make sure that, you know, it's all riding good and I don't need to swap that over. Now, I have seen in some of the forums that other people are running them on this specific truck and having no issues, and they love the extra room and everything works out great. Something that I want to do that I've had on my last truck is add airbags. So I'm going to kind of look and see how much squat I have. When I get to a level area, I may stop and pull over, see how much squat the truck's given, and also just kind of see the sponginess of the ride as I'm going. Am I sitting on the helper springs? Am I on the overloads? Am I sitting, you know, level? Am I too squatted? So this is kind of a trial run on pulling the Brinkley to see how this is going. Now, keep in mind, we're going full time with this. So this is gonna be a full-time setup. I got my house behind me right now. In the next few months, once the kids get out of school and everything, and so I wanna make sure that this is a good, comfortable ride, and that I don't need to upgrade anything in the next couple months to make sure that I'm happy and satisfied with this. So this is a nice little test run while we go get the Brinkley fixed as well. Now, the issues with the Brinkley, we have 2 recalls. I'll put them up on the screen. And then we have a list of other things that we want to get addressed. Just some small stuff. LED strip on the driver's side has the red gone out on one of the strips. I think there's 4 strips total to light up the undercarriage of the Brinkley, and it's not working red on one strip. That's not a major issue. We have some flaking on the kitchen sink. It's a black painted little sink valve that just matches the black sink. It's flaking. We've seen some people replace them with kind of gold, and there is gold accents. in the camper already, so I think that could be a nice touch. Or see if they maybe have a fix for that to where it's not going to happen again and we go back with the black. Not a major concern. One of the speakers on the outside of the camper, right underneath the stairs going into the main entry, there's a speaker underneath that plays for the outside. And one of the speakers, it's like intermittently working. I did a bunch of tests. It really aggravated me the first time we took it out, because that's kind of where we set up our table and everything else. You couldn't really hear it. I had to turn it up really loud, which it was loud in the rear of the camper, which I didn't want to be a nuisance to the other people in the campground around us. But, you know, I was able to enjoy it, but it wasn't quite as loud as I would like. And it wasn't even, I don't listen to it loud. I just want to be able to hear the music and, you know, create some ambience, but it was just kind of weird that it was kind of off to the rear. So the one underneath the stairs is kind of the one that handles that area, and it wasn't a speaker issue because I got it to work at one point, and then I watched the Rockford Fosgate system, the head unit, it turned off, it turned back on, and then it didn't work. So something's going on internally, and I think it's an issue with an amp. I have posted in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, and it was other people said that they had that same issue, and you just get a new amp, get it replaced, and there's no problem. So yeah, we're gonna see if the amp maybe can be the solution there. This trailer is equipped with a Dexter tow assist, and I'll kind of show you a thing of what the Dexter tow assist does. But right now I'm running, I don't know if you guys can see this in the mirror, there's a light back there on the trailer, and I've got one green and one orange. Both of those are supposed to be green. So we got some sort of issue there. There's a Bluetooth module that I hooked up into the OBD2 sensor port, and I was able to determine that it said some sort of magnetic something fault code. I don't think it's a major issue. It just may not be something plugged in right or something not synced up right. So again, not a major issue. We've taken this thing out several times now. We haven't had any major issues with it, which I have seen a lot of people be negative towards the Brinkley brand and having a ton of issues. We haven't seen that. It's been amazing for us so far, other than some small issues which we kind of expected. Now, the recall that's going on the solar, I have seen issues where it has caught fire and luckily like put itself out, but we haven't had that issue, and I don't want to have that issue because it does stay in storage right now at my office, which you saw there, that muddy mess that I need to get fixed. So I'm not having to park in the mud every single time. Thought we had enough gravel, didn't. But anyway, we don't want to have any issues where this thing's gonna catch fire while it's just sitting in a lot somewhere and we can't pay attention to it. I mean, we don't want to catch fire, period. But yeah, so that's one big issue that we want to get fixed and remedied before we get on the road, and also, you know, so it doesn't catch fire while it's just sitting there. All right, so we're headed there. See you guys there. And I think that's the thing. I have like a whole Brinkley section over here, which is pretty cool. A lot of different Brinkleys, and then I looked and saw that's our Raptor that we traded in. So there's our old Raptor. Bye, Raptor. So that was a lot easier than I expected. Walked in, gave them a list of issues. They're gonna VIN check the recalls, is what they told me. If they have any issues or any questions, they'll call me, and I'll just kind of go from there. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we can get this thing back in a couple weeks. I still have probably a month and a half before I really need it back for spring break, but it'd be nice to have it back, make sure there's no other issues or anything else going on with it, and then just kind of go from there. That's where ours was sitting when we purchased it, where that one is there. Nice little green carpet area. I like how Brinkley has their setups. There she is. Looks so good behind this truck. And I didn't know if I wanted to go with white or black, and I think I'm happy that I went with white, and then I can do black accents eventually on the truck, which I think will make it look really, really good. Gorgeous truck. Ooh, she looks good. Squat's not bad at all. I'm gonna measure it real quick and see what it is right now, then I'm gonna take it off and measure it again and see if I want to get the airbags put on there. But it drove awesome. All right, so to the middle, we're about 40 inches to the top ridge there. That's what I'll measure it off of. So let's see what we look like when we take the weight off. Be off and all clear. So we're up about 43, so it's about a 3-inch drop. Yeah, I mean, I think for 3 inches we could probably use 41 in the front or so. I don't know, I think for that 3-inch difference it'd be nice to have some airbags and maybe at least level out some of that. So we're at about a 3-inch difference when I take it off. I meant to look and actually see underneath there if we were on the helper spring or the overloads to see exactly what was going on with that, but I didn't. I'm not really gonna worry about it. We can take a look at it next time we get it picked up. But for now, we're gonna get out of here and hopefully this thing comes back to us in a couple weeks. So stay tuned for that. This is always a fun process when you get back in. You gotta make sure your mirrors are back in, trailer's disconnected, drive mode back into regular, make sure our engine brake is off. And I think we've got everything else ready to go. Let's get out of here. Tailgate is open. We'll pull out from underneath it. And then push this nice little tailgate button and it'll close our tailgate for us. Tailgate's coming up. We're ready to go. You ready, Finn? Let's go, buddy. They're actually opening up their own RV park here, which would be pretty cool because you can come and get your RV service and all that good stuff. And you have a nice little place to stay if you need to, which I'm sure they're going to be providing like maybe loaners there. I don't know how exactly the full process in that, but I think that's a pretty neat idea to have a RV park on site at your servicing dealer, just for all the conveniences and whatnot. So there she is. Bye, Brinkley G. Catch you in the next couple weeks. Hopefully everything's gonna be addressed and get done. You know, Buc-ee's isn't too far from here. I wonder if I should take a little trip down there. Nah, I don't need to do that. Let's get back home. So we got the Brinkley dropped off and that was a super easy process. I think we probably could have got a mobile tech to come and fix it, but it's not that bad. You know, an hour drive here wasn't too bad. Nice little time for me to listen to a podcast and kind of relax for a little while. I'm not knocking it at all. If we got a mobile repair tech, I don't know if they would have been able to fix all of the issues or more of the emergency stuff, which we don't really have, but I was fine with doing that and it was a great easy process. So we'll see if we can get the camper back in 2 weeks. I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments. Have you had your Brinkley had issues, or your fifth wheel camper had any issues? Is it hard to deal with your dealer? How long did it take before you got it back? Did you have some of the same issues that I had? You know, is this an issue that Brinkley can actually address and make sure that we don't have any more of the, you know, small little issues like this, or is it just kind of a fluke thing? I'm not knocking Brinkley. I love their product. I think their customer service has been great. The sales process has been great with their dealers that they have, and every, you know, step of the way of buying this with Byron and going through the whole process. I couldn't be any happier. Even though I am having some small issues, I expected this. I expected worse, honestly, so my expectations have been exceeded. And so we'll check back in the next couple weeks when we get this thing picked up and see if everything got addressed and what they did to remedy it, and hopefully we don't have any more issues going forward in the future. So the process has been great. Catch you guys next time. Ben, you ready to go home, buddy? He likes riding. Everybody, see you later. Say like and subscribe.